Welcome to the SoBeing Podcast. Human doing, human being. Because we need both. We need to be and do. Only listen to this podcast when you can safely close your eyes. If you're operating heavy machinery, driving a vehicle, doing anything that requires your attention, come back to this. There are eyes closed, hypnotic meditation processes during this podcast. Only listen when it's safe to relax completely and make changes deep down inside that last and stay with you. Welcome to the SoBeing Podcast, Episode 1, Clear Mental Image, or CMI. Wallace Wattles, one of the New Thought authors who wrote the trilogy of books all about being healthy, wealthy and wise, a book for each of those classic three, spoke of clear mental image being so important. CMI. It's part of almost every personal and spiritual development program. Getting a clear mental image. Having a clear idea of what it is that you do want. And that is step 3 of the SoBeing process. The perfect place to start episode 1 of the podcast. Because what do you want? What do you want? That's step 3. Step 1 of SoBeing is about releasing and letting go. And this can be the big anxieties, worries, phobias and fears. Or it can be the limiting beliefs and blocks in your way of step 3 moving forward. What is it that you do want in your life? And step 2 is gratitude. Step 1, release, let go. Step 2, feel gratitude for where you are right now. Right now, what you do have, maximize the right now. And step 3 is consciously creating your future. It's about making it manifest, creating and making manifest your future. First, you need a clear mental image of what it is that you want to work towards. Getting a clear mental image is so important. And that's why week 1, that's where we are. We're getting a clear mental image. Now that phrase to me is a little bit misleading because it mentions nothing about auditory experience, sounds, getting a clear mind's ear as well as a mind's eye, and having a clear mental image and a clear mental audio representation, the sounds that go with it. Of course, you've got to have the feelings. That'll create the good feelings. This is step 3, a small part of step 3, which is about creating and making manifest in the world the things that you want to achieve and have more of. So, it starts with knowing either something as simple as the direction that you want to go. Maybe you've been successfully teaching yoga for 7 years, and in the future you have a direction of owning your own spa or yoga center to teach yoga in. It's a direction to head towards. Maybe there are certain steps that you want to take to consciously create or allow to effortlessly unfold in front of you as you put those ideas out there. Writing a book. Maybe you want to get really clear about what the cover will look like, who the person reading your book is, what they want to enjoy and get out of reading your book. Maybe you want to get really clear mental imagery of some of the things that you want to achieve and work towards. And when you get a clear mental image, when you have in your mind a very clear idea of what it is that you do want, it's so much easier to move in that direction and just to allow the world to unfold and opportunities to just appear in front of you that you can take and spot those opportunities, and if they're right for you, take that opportunity, go with it, and step out of the comfort zone if necessary, and work towards more of what you want. Work, a misleading word again. It's effortless, it's fun, it's something you want to do, it's enjoyable, it's part of your journey. Because goals to me are markers on your journey of life, heading forward into that future. That direction is important. So while having a clear mental image is very important, having an overall direction of where you want to head is more important. So the SoBeing process is a simple process. Step 1, release and let go. And there's lots of tools and techniques I will share with you in the upcoming podcasts in the SoBeing Podcast series. And there are many practices for gratitude and having your eyes open for that opportunity in that present moment, and all the other areas of being in the now that are important to enjoy your life. And in this first episode, we dive straight into part of step 3, and that is getting a clear mental image. And as well as an image, as I've said or alluded to in this podcast so far, is that when you visualize your clear mental image, you want to have the sounds that go with it. And you want to feel the feelings that go with it. You want to feel those feelings that just are exciting and make you think and go, wow. So step 3, right at the beginning of step 3, is getting that clear mental image. Because if you have a fuzzy, vague idea, it's not so easy for your unconscious mind, for the subconscious powerhouse of your mind, to see all of the opportunities out there in front of you that will lead you closer to that direction and those goals, those outcomes, because it's all vague and fuzzy and fluffy. So if you right now just think of something, and it can be a really simple achievement, almost anything that you want. Pick something that is a goal you're working towards. And when you think about that goal, notice, maybe for the first time, whether that goal that you have that comes to mind more of a good feeling and an internal commentary with fleeting glimpses of what it may or may not look like, or whether it comes to mind more in the visual domain first, that you see clearly things, or you notice that those things actually, when you look at it, are a little blurry and fuzzy and small and off in the distance, isn't a great way to represent something that you want more of. So having them as big, bright, clear mental images, that CMI, a big, bright image. And if you can't imagine what it would look like, simply imagine or get a sense of what it would be like if you could see it or you knew it was there. And the clearer that you get that image, and the more that you add the sound, maybe like a booming bass beat of a party venue checking out their sound system for a beautiful event tonight. Close your eyes and imagine a clear mental image of what it is that you do want to achieve. And notice the sounds that go along with it. And as you notice the sounds, and be aware of the body feeling and the excitement that you can feel more and more the more that you deliberately allow that feeling to spread from the tips of the toes to the top of your head. And as you see either fleeting glimpses of the thing that you want to do, or you can get more excited, or the more that you talk to yourself in excited tones about actually doing this and it being a wonderful success and stuff, and it's just gonna be, oh wow, looking forward to it, then the more that you can feel the feelings of excitement, and the more the images come to mind, especially the more you practice having a clear mental image of one thing, two things, three things, many things out into the future, along a timeline into the future. Successes. And so as you build a sensory-rich experience inside your mind, a clear, bright, colourful visual image with an internal dialogue that's exciting and a good body feeling, maybe the smells of rich aromatherapy or the tastes of beautiful food are important in your goal, and they're there as well. A full sensory-rich experience of being there, achieving that goal. So in your mind, if you aren't in a place where you're right in that experience, imagine being there in the future, having already achieved, and how good does that feel? And each time you practice, this gets better and better. And as you imagine how good that can feel and how much better it could feel if you did something different and you changed and you tweaked, and just feel that good feeling in your body and the groove, the vibe, the aliveness of your body. And what are you saying to yourself? What are the sounds around you? Maybe booming music for a wonderful event. What is the imagery inside your mind? What do you see in your mind's eye? What do you hear in your mind's ear? And how good does that make you feel? Now, that's a full sensory-rich experience, and you can imagine seeing yourself in the future, achieving those goals, stepping right back and out of an experience of being there, and seeing it in the future of you achieving and having succeeded at that goal. All the affirmations visually around you, the things that let you know you've achieved it, are there. And as you noticing where in the future that is, how many days, months, weeks, years in the future that this success is, you get a sense for a time and a timeline between here and there. Will have chunks of activities and steps that will allow you to get to this point on your journey in the direction that you're heading, allowing opportunities to unfold and present themselves. Now, take a deep breath in. Hold that breath. And if you haven't already and aren't still, you can right now if it's safe and appropriate to do so, as well as breathing out. Close your eyes and feel good. Feel a good feeling, knowing that as you continue to listen to this SoBeing podcast over the days and months ahead, and listen to the SoBeing process inside this podcast each week, once a week only, will make a big difference as you visualize your future and the successes that you want to achieve. Now, you can allow at the beginning of this process any limiting beliefs or blocks that come to mind to be placed onto a television screen in front of you. You can see any problems or blocks, negative internal dialogues coming from the tinny television speakers of an old-fashioned TV in front of you. And as you imagine seeing a little movie in black and white, now the color's gone, on the old TV, and the picture wobbles and suddenly shrinks into a dot, gone. Another worry or block or limiting belief can pop onto that TV screen, into black and white, into a little dot and gone. And any others that can come to mind that were holding you back from achieving more of those things that you know you deserve and that you can have. And really, as you get your mind clear, mental images for what you do want, and let go and release the limiting beliefs and blocks that held you back, now. You can take another deep breath in. Hold that breath, knowing that in a moment as you breathe out, those old blocks can just disappear and melt away as you today, right now, take time for you. One more deep breath in. Hold that breath just a moment longer and prepare to feel the wonderful good feelings that tingle through your body as you sigh and breathe out. Yeah. And as you allow yourself this moment to feel better, having released and let go of those certain old things, and feel instead a relaxing, wonderful feeling. And you can allow that feeling of relaxation simply to grow. And as you do, cast your mind to one of the things that you have that you're grateful for. Notice the things that come to mind and feel feelings of gratitude for using and owning and possessing those things. And how good does that make you feel? And there are things in the future that you want, and you can feel a feeling of gratitude for the things in the future you haven't yet achieved, but you know you will. Feel good now. The activities that you've done that you're so grateful, the holiday, the classes, the workshops, the experiences, the things that you've done that brought you so much joy, bliss, that you have a deep gratitude for. And feel that feeling. Resonate that feeling of gratitude around your body. And as you resonate that gratitude feeling of doing those activities that you've done, you can think of activities in the future that you haven't done yet. You know you will. Now, enjoy the feelings of gratitude for the things that you haven't experienced yet that you know you're working towards, and feel so good. And the people that are in your life that you are grateful that you know, and that lead the way and that show you wonderful stuff, and the people that you spend your time with that uplift you, and the people that you share your time with that you're so grateful for, feel that feelings of gratitude mingle and blur with the feelings of gratitude for the things that you've got and achieved and will achieve, the experiences you've had and enjoyed and will have and are looking forward to. And the feeling of gratitude for the people as well spreads as you think about spending more of your time with the people you really want to spend your time with in the future, and feel grateful for that. And as you do, there are the places that you've been that are so wonderful that you feel so grateful and happy that you've been there. And you can feel so good. And that good feeling is really wonderful gratitude feeling enveloping your body, and you can spin and shine and make that feeling sparkle and bigger and brighter and spread it out through all of your neurology, all of your physiology, and feel so, whoa, yeah. And that feeling into the future for the places you're going to go, and the experiences you'll have with the people and the things in the future. And this good feeling out into the future, and the excitement and enjoyment and gratitude that you have also for this goal in the future, and spin all of these good feelings of gratitude, excitement for achieving this thing in the future that's on your timeline. And when you look into the future in your mind and you see a reminder of that wonderful thing in the future. Oh yeah, you can feel so good. And float up right now from this moment in time and see that point in the future where you've already achieved that thing that you want to achieve and the excitement and energy that goes with it. And halfway between now and there is a point of halfway. Then as you imagine in your mind floating to that halfway point and dropping down into that moment in time, you can imagine seeing the world as if you've already achieved half of those things that will get you to this wonderful, clear mental image. You've taken half of the steps to get there. And as you look around and feel so good, you can glance back down the timeline and see that 1/4 way, the moment between where you are in the future, having achieved half of it, and the present moment back in time, a halfway point between 25% of the way. And you can see the things that you're doing in order to get you well on the way, your first few steps. And as you float up and back into that moment, having taken the first few steps and achieved 1/4 of your goal, and float into that moment and experience in time, and know that you can look round and see you've achieved certain things, and it's good. And you look towards that halfway point and see half of your clear mental image already coming to fruition. You can allow yourself to glance beyond to that clear mental image right out in the future of you having succeeded and achieved already, feeling good. And there's a moment between halfway and all the way, 3/4 of the way today. Float up and into that moment, 3/4 of the way to having already achieved and succeeded, and see all the things around you that show you that you succeeded in that energy and movement that shows you you're so far in the right direction towards achieving this thing. And you look towards that clear mental image of where you've achieved and succeeded, and float up and into that moment in time where you see yourself having already achieved that thing, and looking out into the future at the world ahead of you, having already achieved, and feel so good. Now you can relax and allow, as you sleep and dream tonight, your unconscious to go through this process again and again, so that as you follow through this simple set of visualization exercises once a week or more, you achieve fantastic results, moving closer to more of the successes that are those clear mental images that are goals and markers, achievements on your journey as you go into the future. Now take a deep breath in. Open your eyes and feel so excited about the idea of simply taking the time each week, at least once, to get clear on what it is you do want, feel good and grateful about the right now, release and let go of any limits, blocks and stuff that hold you back, so that you propel and move forward into the future now. Episode 2 of the podcast will be exploring a different step, some powerful techniques that you can use to release and let go as part of the SoBeing process. Episode 1 here was about getting a clear mental image, the importance of having a clear mental image in your mind's eye and having that audio footprint in your mind's ear, a weird thing to imagine, a footprint in your ear, and having a clear, good set of feelings. So, until episode 2, have an awesome rest of your day. This is John Vincent.